Welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by the First Family of Waterfowl, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
Every Thursday at 7 o'clock on YouTube, you can head over to our YouTube, the Big Honker Podcast, and every Thursday there will be a new episode drop for the foreseeable future. Got several episodes lined up and ready to go, and we turn to waterfowl hunting this week.
First waterfowl hunting show on there this week.
Winter is coming.
Thank God it's 105.
Jeff? What's that off of? You didn't watch Game of Thrones, though.
No, I did not.
Boy, you missed a hell of a series.
Don't know if it... everybody says that.
Oh, trust me. You missed a series.
I just do not like any show that has anything to do with fantasy or make-believe. There's another show on Facebook. That's on Facebook. That's on Netflix. It's
not really about... It turns that way, but in the beginning, like the first couple episodes, it's kind of more geared toward like medieval times. So there's a little bit of, fantasy shit, but... The dragons and shit like that. It's a good series.
There's one on that's about a time traveler that's on Netflix, and everybody's like, "Oh, you need to watch it." I just can't get into anything that's fake. It's like what the fuckers Walking Dead shit. But
that's real, Jeff.
I'm starting to wonder now. Have you seen the photos of some of these inner cities with this meth and people are taking? They look like fucking zombies.
No, I missed that.
Well. There's a guy that's always in, I think he's in Philadelphia, and he shows on the streets in Philly.
Yeah.
Fucking people walking around with zero freaking go to them.
No place to go, no place to be.
Yeah, that's not a good way to be in life.
I don't know.
Just got back from Delta. You just got back from SquadFest.
That's right. Big weekend. Spent the weekend with Boss Shot Shells, and I'm telling you what, fast. We move product fast at the A-Team.
The A-Team. How many shells y'all have left when you got done?
We had 5 cases left.
Okay, that's 5 cases more than we had left.
Did you sell 10s and all that stuff?
We could have sold 10s. We sold 28s. Well, you sold 28s?
We did sell 28s.
We sold out of our 28s. Yeah. We sold out of 20s. We sold out of 12s. We sold out of everything.
We were done.
Did y'all sell y'all's bags? Did y'all do bags with shells in them?
Well, of course. Oh, yeah. We did that on Friday, but our cases were moving so fast, Jeff.
That you just couldn't do it.
We couldn't keep up with demand.
I'm glad y'all done good.
Couldn't keep up with demand.
I'm glad. People
were panic buying. They were like, I want 12 gauges. We're like, we don't have 12 gauges. They're like, well, I'll take 4 10s. Well, fuck, take it. That was the buzz that we were able to create at SquadFest. But that's okay. Some people are born with just this natural knack of salesmanship. I've got it. I've got a very high charisma rating on the charisma rating scale, and people fed off of it.
Actually,
that's okay.
I heard your wife sold more than you did.
Do you blame people for talking to her over me?
No, not at all.
She was moving a lot of shirts. She was our shirt girl.
But see, I don't see Jessie in that light because she's my daughter. So
she's not your daughter. She's your daughter-in-law.
Yeah, but she's like a daughter. She's been around so freaking long.
Well, that confuses everybody. I've gotten more messages on, well, now what's the relationship here? People think I'm a son-in-law because you say that.
You'd be a good son-in-law.
I am a very good son-in-law. But yeah, people are confused because we've got different last names, and people think that Jessie is your daughter because you say she's your daughter.
Well, she is a daughter to me.
So time to clear that up.
So anyways, y'all...
the A-Team. You can refer to me as the A-Team for the rest of this podcast.
Okay. So would we be considered the B-Team?
You would be considered an also-ran.
An also-ran, okay.
Listen, all I know is I got a phone call from you on like Friday. Y'all's show hadn't even opened, and we were scrambling for shotgun shells. So.
Yeah, I heard y'all had a hell of an opening. That's good. So it's a good product. It sells itself. If you want...
I sell it.
Oh, you sell it? Oh.
Yeah.
It is a good product. I didn't have one guy come up to us at Delta that griped about anything.
Really?
Nope. Not at all. Not one person come up and said a dang thing to it. Now, Stanfield 9s. If you want to order Stanfield 9s, you call Meg at Boss, and she can get you lined up on Stanfield 9s. Sell them by the case.
Mm-hmm.
So call Meg at the shop at Boss Shot Shells, and you can get your Stanfield 9s for dove season.
Dove season and early teal.
It's a great teal load. You can shoot grouse with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's going to be a limited run. There's not going to be a lot of cases of them, so it's going to go fast.
So if you're wanting Stanfield 9s, if you're public hunting, dove hunting, or anything like that, and you have to shoot non-tox, you better call Boss now and get the Stanfield 9s. I like it for teal season. I need as many pellets out there as I can for those fast little bastards. Most people, a lot of people that don't shoot like big ducks, they shoot the smaller species of ducks. So this will be a good load to have.
I got a text, and I looked for it this morning. I can't find it now while I was there from someone that... Do you have people that text you and you don't know who it is, but they've got your number, and you try to look back at the other messages to try to figure out who they are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have that, and a guy messaged me, and he's like, "Hey," he goes, "I heard in 2025 that they're going to go to all. It's going to be lead free on all dove hunting nationwide."
Would that shock you?
No, not at all. It's coming.
It's kind of like the. It's such a weird deal, and I can't believe that it's taken. I just don't know how you can. How you can pass legislation for waterfowl hunting, but you can do the exact same type of hunting. Dove hunt one property in the afternoon for dove with lead, and then you can dove hunt that same property the next morning for teal, and you got to switch to non-toxic. So, but our politicians aren't very bright, so the people making the rules, they're pretty gullible. So,
well, here's the thing. I told a guy at the booth, we were talking about this weekend, and I said, listen, the dove hunters are going to be like, gosh, dang, boy, dove loads, used to be able to buy them for $3 a box. And I said, it's like you get acclimated to it.
Right.
Once after the first year's over, you're used to it, and it's a new deal.
Yeah.
I remember it was horrific when we went to steel shot from lead. It was horrific.
I'm sure.
And it was because it was terrible. And I talked to a bunch of people this weekend. When I first got in business, we could shoot steel shot or lead shot. So we went from shooting lead 6s is what we shot all the time, reloads that could just wear shit out, to steel, and we went from 2 3/4 inch shells, which is pretty normal, to 3 inch, to 3 1/2s, to 10 gauge, to triple Bs, to T shot, to F shot, because you didn't have the knockdown power.
Right.
Just didn't have the same shit in it. And now with Boss, we're back to shooting 3 5s, 9s, 5s, 4s, 2 3/4 inch. You don't even have to buy 3 inch shells.
Yeah. Yep. And sub gauge culture is alive and well, and it's all thanks to companies like Boss that make this. You couldn't do it a long time ago because steel was so shitty.
Yes, it was.
But it was a good weekend.
I had an experience on Friday night. We went and ate with Pacific boys. Took us out to eat dinner. Us and the Boss team, the A- team, I guess is what you'll call us. The also ran Boss boys and Pacific guys took us. We went to eat at a sushi place in Little Rock called Kimura. I was not real open-minded about this. I told Michelle, I said, we're going to be probably calling Grubhub when we get done, because I didn't know what the slab of cold fish just does not. Man, I'm telling you, we had ceviche, however I say it that I say wrong. John Paul was on my butt all weekend about that. We had ceviche.
It's good. It's real good.
It was very good there. And I ordered some fried rice, but they had a chef's plate they brung us that was huge. They sat in the middle of the table. There was 12 of us, and it had spicy tuna and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I will be going to a sushi restaurant again soon.
Yes, the Little Rock is known for its sushi, right next to the water.
That's what I told someone too. I was like,
right next to
I'm
the
a little
ocean.
nervous. It was a very top end deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very good. The boys from the Pacific
yeah,
bragged about how good it was, and they eat sushi a lot, and they grew up on this stuff.
Well, that makes sense for them.
Yes,
Not for somebody from Arkansas.
no, but then the sushi chefs were all Mexican.
Funny how that works.
the kid whose dad's the manager or assistant manager was telling us about it. But boy, it was very good service. It was a top-notch restaurant. Really, really good. Had a good time. Delta won a shotgun.
What kind of shotgun?
Won a Weatherby automatic, $800,000 gun. We're gonna give it
$800,000.
$800 to $1,000 gun.
Oh,
I haven't got it yet, so I don't. But
Yeah.
that's what I won. But
how did you bid on it? You bid it up
No.
to $800,000?
no,
Just a
no. I
ticket?
bought a ticket.
Gotcha.
I bought a. They had some mugs, and if you bought a mug, it was $40. And then you could get all the drinks you wanted in it.
Oh, nice.
So I bought me a mama mug, to get our drinks in it, and they give you 2 tickets, 184-135. And the reason I remember that number is they were fixing to draw it, and I was like, "What's the blue deal, anyways?" And they said it's a gun. I said, "Well, hopefully they call 184354 or 18355 or something." And as soon as I said it, he goes 184-135.
That's it.
And I was like, "Son of a bitch!" So I won a gun. Anyways, it'll be in Dad's scholarship raffle that we do this year.
Can you do that?
Well, yeah, they're going to give it to me. I can give it away. I'm going to put it in a raffle here. I'm going to wait till I get the gun. I ain't got it yet.
They got to be 18 years or older.
No, not. We're going to raffle off an auction for Dad's farm scholarship.
Oh, I got you.
It'll be one of the guns that we give away this year. It'll be a gun that I won. So I'm going to try to do something positive.
It won't be shot.
I don't need another gun.
Not going to have a whole lot of shotgun shells run through it. So
you have 0 gun shells, so it'll be stick right in a box. The way I get it, it's the way it's going to go out the door.
Won't even put the son of a bitch together.
Nope.
If it's $800,000, you might should keep it.
Yes. They Delta was an interesting banquet. Good people.
Yeah.
Same as we're going to have a guy from Delta on later next week. We're going to talk about the Pentagon. He was there when the plane hit, so it's going to be an interesting podcast. Chris Williams, he's an interesting guy. Met a lot of really cool people. Met a lot of new friends, old friends. Got to have dinner with Ray, old friend of ours. He's got good stories. Really enjoyed Stacy Coker and Wade Skeenset for dinner with me the other night. God, they're fucking hilarious. Stacy Coker's got a lot of good stories. He's an interesting guy. I'm sure glad we had him on the podcast. Let's switch it up a minute. Let's talk football.
Oh.
It's that time of year.
10 minutes in and you're already switching.
The running backs.
Deuce Vaughn, baby. Deuce Vaughn for president.
Deuce Vaughn for president?
Have you seen his little ass?
Well, I know the guy the Cowboys drafted.
5'5".
Yeah, Kansas State is famous for that. Do you remember Darren Sproles?
Let me see if I can find the video I was watching. He was a funny-looking little bastard running through there. People are going to lose him.
Somebody said something the other day, said it was so nice an 8-year-old kid got to practice with the Cowboys today, one of the coach's kids.
Let me see.
He's very talented.
That's not going to show it.
But he is a very talented running back. He was very good at Kansas State, but so was Darren Sproles, and he was small.
I don't know if he was 5'5" small.
I don't think he was much bigger than that, maybe 5'7". That kid's good, though. That kid is real good. He'll take a lot of passing games away from Tony Pollard.
Well, let me tell you, we were standing around Saturday, and we were out of stuff almost immediately. It's the A-team rolls, and about 2:30 rolled around 2:45, and we were like, all right, let's start organizing and getting ready to go. And anyway, we roll out probably 2:45.
Were the skies getting black at this time or anything?
Kinda to the west. I'd heard some people talking about, we might have a storm brew in around 3:30. And, nobody, you know how it is at SquadFest. I mean,
nobody's paying attention.
And I mean, at any hunting show, like nobody's paying attention. Everybody's talking. And like, I don't think I looked at my phone until the show was over Friday. I mean, it's that fast. Like, unless I felt it like vibrating a phone call, I never looked at it. And then all of a sudden, like, we're on the road 30 minutes and like it got dark and those clouds started swirling. And I told Jesse, I was like, ooh, fuck. Like, because they were I think they were in the middle of the duck calling contest. When we left, a duck calling contest was going on. So I don't know where they were in it. And then I'm telling you what, if the storm on the highway was what it was like at SquadFest, it was a fucking rodeo.
I saw the video of it.
Because high straight line winds, heavy rain, thunder, lightning everywhere, the whole thing. And I've seen some videos come out of SquadFest, but it looked like it was a rodeo about 3:30. So we made the right decision leaving whenever we did.
Buck told me that Jay...
Yeah, his wife almost got KO'd by a table.
And that the Cadillac Creek boys helped them get their stuff put up, or they wouldn't have got their shit put up.
Yeah, because I think I talked to Jay right before. I kind of told him, like, I think around 2:30 we're going to start kind of organizing and kind of getting everything ready to go. And he said he was going to go pull up his, because he had a space behind him. He said he was going to pull up his truck behind him and just kind of drop the tailgate and just start, pre-closing. And then I was talking to him the next day, and he was like, he was in the middle of doing all that, and that thing blew in. kind of out of nowhere.
So I guess from what I was understood, all the vendors got their stuff put up.
I think so.
But Dive Bomb stuff was scattered everywhere.
Yeah, they did not. Well, I mean, they had that professional tent, kind of like that wedding tent. So they're,
did it withstand it?
No, it caved in.
Oh shit!
But I mean, it
all
takes
that shit underneath it.
It takes a professional crew to put up and take that thing down. I think any time I've ever been in a situation where something like that is up, like weddings and stuff, there's a crew that stakes it all down.
They brought a lot of stuff to their warehouse and staged it in there so you could load your stuff up there, right?
Well, that was the second place. So they had like their normal tent where you walk through and, see everything that's coming, and you could buy some things there. But like if you got like a bulk order at the entrance of the park, they had another tent set up, stacked high with boxes of decoys and stuff like that.
Did it get hit too then?
I'm assuming so. I've not seen pictures of it, but
wow.
Yeah, it was scary. Shitters all tipped over.
God almighty.
So they got a mess on their hands, but
and you can't help nothing like that. You have an outdoor event, and usually
in July,
your thunderstorm season is not that prevalent.
No, but I mean it. And like let's be real. Like whenever they were like, well, a thunderstorm might blow up, I thought isolated thunderstorm,
50-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, something, might be a little popcorn thunderstorm or whatever, pop up and then go away in 15 minutes. But this thing, when I looked at it on the radar, it was big. It was
80-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, 80-mile-an-hour winds is what they said. And so shout out to the people at Dive Bomb for cleaning that stuff up.
And
there's nothing they can do. I mean, it's just a shitty situation for everybody because they don't want to have a thunderstorm blow through at 3:00 in the middle of the calling contest. So
we were
a bad deal all the way around.
We were at Ducks in 1998, I believe, and they had it at Memphis at Shelby Farms, and it was in a parking lot type deal, and it was in May, and it wasn't. I don't remember it being hot. Matter of fact, I think the second day we had a cold front come through because Michelle wore a jacket, even if I'm remembering right. But we were kind of up. We were in the parking lot, and the parking lot kind of was up a little higher where we were. Mm-hmm. We had our booth. It was us, and Eli Haydale was next to me, and I think Avery was selling just coolers then, was next to me. We were together. But down the hill was Outlaw Decoys right across from us, but it was down the hill. We had a thunderstorm hit the middle of the night, and we had about 4 inches of rain, and it went from being an 80-degree day the first day to the second day, it was like 65 degrees. I mean, it was a cool, cloudy, overcast, rainy-looking day.
Right.
But we had all that rain. Outlaw's booth was almost knee-deep in water.
Oof.
A couple of booths were over there. I felt sorry for those people. We were lucky. We were dry where we was.
Right.
But, I mean, it hit hard over that. Well, if that hits in the middle of the day, there's nothing you can do on any outdoor event. You see outdoor concerts,
right.
You're at the mercy of the weather.
Right. Yeah,
there's
nothing you can do. And I mean, let's be honest. These companies that put this on, it's a lot of money to rent the space. It's a lot of money to you're paying not caterers, but food trucks to show up, and
it's a high risk.
It's a lot of money that they're putting out. They want it to be sunny and 75 degrees or 80 degrees. I mean, that's they don't want high heat and a fucking thunderstorm to blow through. So. They'll figure it out.
And it was hot there too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean it's SquadFest in July, so the last day was pretty rough just because the wind quit blowing.
Oh, that makes a big difference.
First day, we had pretty good wind all day long, but that last day right after lunch, wind quit blowing and got pretty toasty. But it is what it is.
It's a kickoff to waterfowl season. Everybody is ready for waterfowl hunting.
What blew me away was the young kids spending a lot of money.
Parents make a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean...
The flat-billed kids are shoppers.
I mean, it's just crazy to me that a 21-year-old kid was coming up and buying shotgun shells for over $300.
Well, a lot of those kids, those kids that are like that are working kids.
Right.
And I think a lot of those kids have went to trade schools or work for a place like plumbers, electricians. They make really good money. They're not married, and they don't have kids. So where do you spend your money on? Yourself?
Whatever you want.
That's exactly right. We had a lot of those kids there, too. We had some kids there.
Does that not shock you, though?
Yeah, I talked to a couple of them, and I asked what they did. And that's why I told you what I said, because that's what they were doing. But
right.
They had... where they were college kids and they worked and they were single. But we had some kids there. I call them kids, how they're in their 20s. To me, that's a kid, but they're men. We had some 20-year-olds that were there for 3 days in a row. I'm like, God, y'all are still here? And they had bags every day.
Just spending that money.
Yep. Bye.
It's crazy. The I saw mostly like the same people that I'd seen the past 3 years. It's kind of that same crowd. So they're loyal to the death, which is good.
Did you meet anybody interesting?
I mean, I'm sure I did. Nothing rings in off the top of my head. Talked to a lot of people.
I got to visit with the guy at G&H Decoys that owns it.
Well, he wasn't at I-Bomb.
No, at Delta. Really interesting guy. He's going to be on the podcast either late this week or next week. Interesting deal, taking that old business it's the oldest manufacturer of decoys in the United States.
Yep.
And talking to him about the stuff they got going on. A very interesting man. Look, it's going to be a really interesting podcast.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go back to football now.
Okay.
Anyways, these running backs in the NFL, they think they got this leverage. They have zero leverage. There's 1,000 guys in football camp or wanting to be in football camp right now that are busting their ass just to make a roster. Mm-hmm. If you think some kid that's an undrafted free agent from Abilene Christian that's a tailback, and he was a stud in college, I'm just using ACU. I have no idea if they've got I'm just using it as a team. And that kid's got a chance to make an NFL football team. You think he really gives a shit if Melvin Gordon's not making $12 million a year or Austin Eckler? No.
Right.
He's wanting to feed his family to get the opportunity to him make $1 million a year, which is hitting the lottery in life.
And let's be honest, I don't mean to hurt any running back's feelings, but I'm probably going to. Hit the hole.
Yep.
Hit the hole. Block the guy that if you're in pass protection, the guy that gets away, block him, block the blitzer.
That's why I'm surprised Zeke Elliott hasn't been signed.
I mean, that's kind of it. I realize, I'm oversimplifying it to a certain degree, but you're not reading defenses. You're kind of going to where you were told to go. Make a play. Hit the hole, make a play.
Yeah, you're not a running back in today's football is not near as valuable as a running back was in 1978.
Well, no, because he was the bell cow.
He was
gonna go. The team was gonna go however he went.
Yep.
If you had a 2,000-yard rusher, well, you were probably gonna be pretty good that year because you would throw the ball. I don't know. You'd get 700 passing yards from your quarterback back then?
No, they would throw more than that, but you were throwing the ball 20 times a game. Now they're throwing the ball 60 times a game.
Not that many.
Shit.
Josh Allen I heard this yesterday, he threw 36 times a game before his elbow injury, 33 times a game after his elbow injury.
What Patrick Mahomes average? What was his attempts? Joe Burrow's. But anyways, the quarterback is the most important position. Now you're finding out, which we've known for a long time, and Mike Shanahan did this when he was at Denver. The most important thing is your offensive lineman. If you got a good offensive lineman, you can have an above-average quarterback and an above-average running back, and you can be very good, especially if you have a good defense to go with it.
Right. Mahomes is projected to throw the ball 636 times this year.
So at 17 games at 630, 17 would be 30, 40, almost 40 times. So you're right, 35 times a game.
And then the next is Josh Allen's projected to throw it 570, Burrow 610.
So 30
Herbert 689. That's my guy.
Okay, that's you were just bitching about him last week.
I'm not bitching about him at all.
You did too.
He's
you said he's overpaid.
He is overpaid. For what he's brought the Chargers, he's overpaid.
0 playoff wins.
He's overpaid for that.
But supply and demand.
Justin Fields 380. So
that's 20 times a game. 22. So 22 to 40 times is going to be the average. But back in the day, they were probably throwing the ball 15 to 20 times. But the deal was they wasn't throwing it down. They weren't throwing little short run passes all the time.
Rodgers is projected to throw at 610. I don't see. Well, maybe. I don't know. Depends on if they get Dalvin Cook or not.
I think that signs today. So, anyways, let's go back to the running back deal.
Okay.
All these people, Saquon Barkley caved for an extra $1 million incentives.
Yep.
But he had no choice. Now you've got Jonathan Taylor, who might be the dumbest man in Indianapolis.
Poor guy.
Who's wanting more money, and he didn't do shit last year.
Right.
He should have done this the year before.
He proved last year why owners don't want to pay running backs.
Yes.
He was hurt all last year. Right?
Yep. And that's what they don't want to do. It's a job that has a high risk. Now, the NFL CBA, their veteran players had a meeting and a vote 3 years ago when they didn't decide not to go on NFL on strike, that they were going to play football, and they signed this new CBA. With the new CBA, it comes slotted draft picks. If you're picked first, you're going to make so much money, X amount of dollars. If you're picked 780th, you're going to make X amount of dollars. Now, you can argue over the guaranteed money deal, but that's basically the contract you're going to get. Well, the NFL veterans got sick and tired of a couple years ago when Jamarcus Russell was the first-round pick for Oakland, and he signed a 4-year, $60 million deal, and he hadn't done shit, and he was not worth it. So they decided instead of giving all these rookies money on their deals, they were going to let the veterans on their second contract make all the money. So that's why they've got slotted draft picks. The running back position, unfortunately, after your 5 years is up, you don't have a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
You're going to get franchised 2 or 3 years, and you're done. Now, if you're franchised, that means you're making the average of the top 3 running backs in the league. It's pretty damn good money.
Not bad money.
If you're making $10 million a year to run the ball, you're lucky. Zeke Elliott and Todd Gurley, you can thank them both for ruining long-term contracts because Zeke's money deal was no good, and neither was Todd Gurley's. Zeke, I don't understand why nobody hasn't signed him. Zeke is a great pass blocker, a great pass blocker. That just floors me. That's where the Cowboys are going to really miss Zeke this year. I don't think Tony Pollard is near the pass blocker that Zeke was.
Here are Jonathan Taylor's stats for last year. Week 1, 31 rush attempts, 161, and a tud. Very good game. Week 2, 9 for 54, no touchdowns. Week 3, 21 for 71, no touchdowns. Next week, 20 attempts for 42 yards, missed the next 2 weeks, and then he was 10 attempts for 58, 16 attempts for 76, and a fumble, missed the next game, and then he had one other good game that year for 22 attempts, 147 yards, and a touchdown.
He had 2 games that he had over 100 yards.
Yeah.
The first game and the 11th game.
That one. Yeah.
He had 2 games. He had 100 yards. Yeah, you're not no kind of leverage to be asking for.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, and yet now you want a 5-year, $100 million contract. Ain't happening.
Right. Not with those numbers.
Nope.
Yeah, but that's just the state of running back, and it's shitty. I understand. The more and owners are using the wear and tear against them. You know, you've carried the ball X amount of times. Historically speaking, the wheels are going to fall off very soon. And I don't want to overpay for that. I understand it from the owner's side.
They showed a statistic on the average length of time in the NFL. If you're an offensive lineman,
it ain't long.
An offensive lineman is.
How long?
If you start as an offensive tackle or offensive guard or center in the NFL, you're going to play for 10 years usually.
Wonder why?
Because it's me to you contact.
Not high, not fast contact.
I don't know, but those guys and those guys seem to get better as they get older.
Well, I think they get smarter. I think they figure out how to use their body.
Like Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
How long's he been playing football?
He's my age, I think.
And he's still playing in the NFL as a center.
As a top center.
Yes. Jason Peters that played for the line for the Eagles. I mean, those guys stay a long time. That's why Kansas City's wanting to put up 35 years old.
He's 35.
Yeah. They're wanting to he's played 176 games. He's played 10 complete seasons as an NFL starter, basically. Because it's 17 games now. It used to be 16. So he's 10 or 11 years, played every game for 11 years. But you look at the guy for the Cowboys, Zach Martin. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys are screwing up by not signing him long term.
Right.
They don't want to spend no more money on him. Well, but look at the difference when he's out of the game. Like Tyrone Smith, when Tyrone don't play left tackle, and he's been hurt a bunch too lately, but they're still doing it. You think the Cowboys would be dicking around with a running back at 32 years old or however Tyrone Smith is that had back injuries? No. Those guys are valuable because of the how much experience they have and the way they play the game. The kid for the Chiefs, that white kid from OU that plays center for them, I can't remember his name. But he's a Kansas City Chief. He's going to be a free agent after that. His contract's up after this year and next year. I don't think he's a first round pick. So they can't do a 5th-year option on him. I don't think, and he may have been a first round pick. But he's Creed Humphreys. That's exactly right. I don't remember when he was drafted. I don't know if he's a first round pick or a second round pick.
Second round.
The second round. Okay, so they don't have to do.
He is from Shawnee.
24 years of age. 24 years of age. That's going to be a wealthy man right there. He's very good. He shows up to work. He don't worry about him getting arrested. He'll probably get arrested tonight now after I said this shit.
Poor kid.
But he's a great football player. That's the reason why they didn't spend a bunch of money on wide receivers.
Right.
They got to go sign that kid.
Well, and you got Patrick Mahomes. So
Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce took team-friendly deals, though.
And Mahomes has that Rodgers and Favre type thing where he can make players a lot better than they actually are.
Well, not offensive linemen.
No. But he can make receivers a lot better than they actually are.
Yes, and that's what. But that kid right there is fixing to get paid, and the Chiefs know that. That's why they're not that Chris Jones kid that plays defensive end for them is wanting $30 million a year. They're paying him $22 million a year. Well, you're going to get your $22 million a year. You can stay home.
Yeah.
These NFL owners have starting to realize they've got the leverage.
Mm-hmm.
If Jonathan Taylor, who says now his back's bothering him, right?
He said his back. I was just reading that. I should have fucking pinned it, and I'm kicking myself for not. Okay, here it is. ESPN. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor reported to training camp complaining of back pain that was deemed to be from a pre-existing injury. The team is now considering placing him on the non-football injury list, which could result in him not being paid for the regular season. So
yeah, sit out one time, Le'Veon Bell, and see if you ever get that money back.
So Irsay is saying, like, you're not getting a new deal. And if you want to hold out, it's funny because you were complaining about back injuries not too long ago. So you didn't hurt them in football. I'm assuming they get a physical at the end of the year, maybe?
I don't know.
Anyway, you didn't hurt your back playing football. So we'll slap you with the NFI, and then we'll see you in 2024, and you'll play the contract that you have left. You'll play this year for the money that you've already agreed to. Or maybe you can have a magical healing process, and we'll see you at training camp.
Yeah, get your ass out here and play and earn your money. Then if you have a really good year this year, you've got 1 year left on your deal. You can play it, and we'll franchise you, and you'll make $11 million a year, which is a lot more money than most people make, and you should be happy and appreciative of it. But those guys, that Le'Veon Bell had a better deal than they did, because when Le'Veon Bell sat out a year, and I think he played the last 3 games a year, maybe or 4. I can't remember what it was. Then he became a free agent, and he signed with the Jets.
Yep.
Well, guys were still paying running backs some pretty good money at that time.
Yep.
That ain't happening no more.
And it sucks. I mean, it really does. I mean, you know, the more they do, the better they work, the harder they run, the more attempts that they get, it all gets used against you when it comes contract time. So his Jets deal was 4 year, 500 or 4 year, 52 million, 52.5.
No. That's the deal he could have had with the Steelers. Instead, he got a 4 year, $52.5 million contract with $35 million guaranteed. Okay, never mind.
That's what I just said.
I read it wrong. I'm sorry. He got $35 million guaranteed, and I think he got $35 million was it, because they ended up cutting his ass.
Right.
And he said he was petty about it. But he could have had more money with Pittsburgh if he'd have signed that contract. But nobody's getting $13, $14 million contracts as running backs. That ain't happening no more. And it is a bad deal. But you know what? We'll go back to Eric Dickerson when he was getting all the money at Los Angeles and Indianapolis when he was with the Colts or wherever all he was at. St. Louis. I can't remember where all Dickerson. I think he played with Indy first. Anyways, when he was getting all that money, was he worried about the offensive guard and how much money he was making?
Probably not.
No, because the game changes.
Right
now, cornerbacks make a lot more money than they used to because wide receivers do.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna bet when Michael Irvin was at his best time, I'll bet he was not a top 25 paid player in the league.
I bet he was.
In the league?
Top 5.
Top 25 paid player in the league.
No.
Right now, who's the best wide receiver? Devontae Adams?
No, Justin Jefferson.
No, Justin Jefferson hadn't got a big contract yet, though.
That's not what you asked. You asked who the best one was.
Okay, who's the paid wise? I think probably Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill's got the biggest contracts for wide receivers.
But here's Peterson real quick before I look up that. 5 for 40 was his biggest deal with the Vikings.
$8 million a year. And only $17 million of it was guaranteed. But back then, that was probably a lot more conducive to being a top 50 contract. Well, nowadays, running backs are on the bottom of the list. I'm going to say Tyreek or Devontae. Tyreek. $30 million. Okay. He's making $30 million. He's going to make 3 times more than Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
How come nobody bitches about that when they do it? They always want to show the offensive lineman or somebody that's contracts. That's, they don't ever talk about the wide receiver position.
Right.
Because they're okay with them guys making that much money, but they seem to be pissed off when the linemen do.
I wouldn't be pissed off at the guy. I mean, because if you got a shitty line, then you're not going to do very well.
No, but that's always who the pundits and stuff pull out because the
it's
Giants,
not a sexy position.
Right. The Giants just paid that left tackle $100 million contract for 4 years.
Right.
And they're paying Saquon 10. Well, that guy's more valuable.
Right.
He doesn't block just for Saquon. He blocks for the quarterback too that you paid a lot of money for.
Did you see Le'Veon he didn't understand how Daniel Jones got paid.
Supply and demand.
So Daniel Jones contract's 4 for 25.
If Daniel Jones,
that's
a steal. That's a great quarterback contract for the team.
I mean, he's paid for what he's put up. He didn't reset the market. What is that?
He's got $26 million guaranteed. $26 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Wait. No, it's $82 million fully. Then go down to the Athletic. That's his new contract.
So
he gets $9 million a year this year.
Ooh, 35, 30, 46.
46 in 2026.
Maybe that is a little lot.
Well, hold on.
I think I understand that.
Hold on. But if he's good, they've only guaranteed $80 million of it, so it's $20 million a year guaranteed. So if they cut him in 2025, the cap hit is $56 million, but they only paid him $80 million. Because if you look, it's $21 million, $45 million, $39, and $56. But what is a contract if he turns out to be really good and they like him and they won?
I'm Team Le'Veon here. That's a dumb contract.
But he would have signed that on a free agent market. Somebody would have signed him. Somebody would have signed Daniel Jones on the free agent market. He proved last year he can be really good. He wasn't great, but he was a winning quarterback.
He was not really good.
Okay, hold on. Dalvin Cook, an all-pro running back, is on the free agent market. How many teams have signed him?
Well, none, yeah.
And what's he fixing to sign? $5 million contract.
That's it?
Yeah. Daniel Jones, though, if he's a free agent, someone's signing him to $30 million, $40 million a year contract. That's the going rate for quarterbacks.
Let's just see what his stats were. They got $40 million a year.
You see, you're looking at it the wrong way, though.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're not looking at it supply and demand. There's only 32 starting quarterbacks, and he was a top 21. That's the thing. You can't look at it as compared to the number one quarterback because he's not. But he's 26 years old. He started in the NFL for 4 years, and they made him prove it. They didn't give him they didn't do the 5th year extension on him. They made him prove his worth, and he did.
Week 1. That's completions.
Go to the playoff game right there.
That's week 18.
But okay, but
he was 19 for 177 and
2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 91 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He's a good football player.
That's a lot of money for that.
Who else are you going to sign?
Are you going to pay a running quarterback that kind of money?
He throws the ball at least. Yeah, they do. Lamar Jackson got more than he did.
He threw it 19 times.
Look and see how many Lamar. That's not the way their team is set up. That's what I'm saying. You're comparing him to the top 10 quarterbacks. He's not, but he's a top 20 quarterback.
Who's more important for the Giants, Daniel Jones or Saquon?
Daniel Jones.
I disagree.
I don't.
I disagree.
So
you could have drafted a quarterback to hand the ball off to Saquon and throw it 19 times a game.
You think so, huh?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Anthony Richardson will do that with the Colts.
Whatever.
He will.
The guy
I'm saying it right now. Hold on. You want to make a little bet? You want to make a little side wager? Yeah. Anthony Richardson will have a better statistical season than Daniel Jones.
How many games will he win?
I'm not worried about that.
I am. As an owner of a team, I want to win fucking games. I don't want a damn PlayStation 5 quarterback.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Everybody wants that.
No, you don't.
That's why Lamar Jackson got paid.
Yeah, and
Lamar Jackson's not going to win anything, but they paid him because he's going to put butts in the stands.
Okay, hold on. How much money is Lamar Jackson making? He's making a whole lot more than Daniel Jones is.
Because he's a PlayStation 5 quarterback.
Yeah. Daniel Jones won one more playoff game than Lamar Jackson has the last 2 years.
Well, and we see who got paid more. So that shows you what the owners want.
No.
They want butts in the stands.
It's because you can't find quarterbacks.
Well,
you cannot find quarterbacks. Daniel Jones has improved every year he's been in the league. He got him a quarterback coach who done Josh Allen and made Josh Allen a good quarterback. Do you think Brian Daboll, who was around Josh Allen, would want to sign him if he didn't like him? Kid's got a lot of potential. He's a good athlete. He also had the shittiest wide receiving group in the football. Would you want to argue that?
Hold on. I don't think Brian. Hold on a second.
What?
Where all has Brian Daboll been?
Look him up on Wikipedia right there.
We're about to just fucking find out. We'll see how good of a coach he really is. He was with the Patriots, the Jets, who during the Mangini days. He was with the Browns, the Dolphins.
Offensive coordinator at Alabama in 17. 18 was the Buffalo Bills coordinator. 18 through 21.
But I mean, everywhere he was before there, he was a defensive. He was a defensive assistant.
Yeah, and then he's a wide receivers coach, a quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator at Cleveland, offensive coordinator
during the
at Miami.
Philbin days when they didn't do anything.
What the fuck does the guy got to fucking do to do anything? You had he was also at Kansas City as offensive coordinator.
Well, how did he get a job before Bieniemy did?
I don't think Bieniemy does a very good job of interviewing.
Well, he must not, because I'm telling you what, that resume right there, give me Bieniemy all day long. You're taking this right here and you're parlaying that into a head job.
Oh, so you're bitching about the guy who took him to the fucking playoffs last year in his first year?
He should thank his lucky stars that he had Josh Allen. Otherwise, he's still in a coordinator somewhere.
Huh. You don't think maybe Josh Allen improved because of him? Look at Josh Allen's numbers starting in 2018. Let's look up Josh Allen. Go look at Josh Allen.
I mean, do you think any of that Jets during the Pennington days?
They didn't hire him as a coach because of what he did at the Jets.
I understand.
Obviously, they done really well. So I guess now you're telling me that the Mara family in the New York should not have hired Brian Daboll. Did they make the playoffs in his first year?
I'd have gone with Bieniemy.
Well, hire his ass. Nobody else is.
Bieniemy for life.
Why would you hire Bieniemy?
Look at what he's done in Kansas City.
He had Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly.
Do you think Andy Reid's offensive coordinator, or do you think Bieniemy is?
Who's calling the plays, Jeff?
Go to Josh Allen. Look up Josh Allen. See his numbers in 2018.
Was he in the league then?
I don't know, but Josh Allen took a bunch of steps forward. You're the only person in New York that's a Giants fan that thinks they ought to get rid of Brian Daboll because he didn't do something. He was a coordinator at Alabama at some time.
This is driving me crazy the way it's bouncing. About the time
it's driving me crazy the way you're fucking talking now. Everybody said you're an idiot at the Hunt Show. I'm starting to believe them now.
So your team Daboll.
I think Daboll's a good coach. I don't have nothing against Eric Bieniemy, but there's a reason why nobody's hired him.
And I don't know what that reason is.
I think he doesn't interview good. I think he had a couple of alcohol incidents at one time or something.
Okay. This is as far back as it'll go. 2020.
Well, that don't do us any good now. You're telling me you couldn't went to Wikipedia and done Josh Allen. They'd just given us their stats.
I mean, I've got
while you were go to Brian Daboll. Go to Brian Daboll right there.
I've got a stat
right
there.
And now look up Josh Allen. And they'll have all the years.
He's an American football quarterback.
Okay. He went there in 17. In 2018, his first year, look at the improvement. Now, you don't think Daboll had anything to do with him improving himself?
I don't see anything from 17. All I see is 18. He was 5 and 6 for.
He played with Daboll
yards.
every year, and he got better. And then look, Daboll left, and his numbers went down.
He was hurt last year.
Well, his numbers went down.
He hurt his elbow last year.
Anyways, Daboll has been proven to be a good football coach and is very well respected in the NFL and had done a good job. They gave that contract to Daniel Jones because they like him. But the problem is there's not other quarterbacks out there to get. I mean, who's going to be Arizona's starting quarterback this year? Maybe Colt McCoy early in the year? I mean, they think Kyler might play, but they don't know. But Colt McCoy, that's where we're at in the NFL right now. It's hard to find quarterbacks that are fucking worth the shit. And so it's supply and demand. So I'll keep Daniel Jones. You sign Saquon. Together, I'd rather have both of them together. But if I was going to sign one, I'd have signed. And the reason they did what they did was because of that. They could have franchised Daniel Jones. They got a good deal on Daniel Jones. They like the numbers they gave on him. Do I think he's overpaid? Yes, in retrospect of the rest of the league. But with the shortages in quarterbacks, no, he's not. All these quarterbacks that got drafted this year in the first round, how many of them actually are going to be good quarterbacks in the league in 3 years?
I don't even know who got, other than Anthony Richardson.
The kid from from Alabama and the kid from Ohio State. One of them went to Carolina. One of them went to the Texans. You've got Anthony Richardson. You got the kid that went to Tennessee, the kid from Kentucky that sat there all day by himself, Will Levis. Mm-hmm. But I don't, you're throwing John Elway. Someone did an interview with him about 6 years ago, and they were talking about drafting quarterbacks. He said, we'll draft one first every year till we hit the one we need. Because that's where your whole franchise is. That's why San Diego or the Chargers paid all that money to Justin Herbert.
Boy, Rodgers took up for Hackett. He was not happy.
Sean Payton's very overrated.
He was not happy. Rodgers said, basically all Sean Payton's doing is hedging. He doesn't think he's going to do worth shit this year, and he's already placing the blame on Nathaniel Hackett, saying, listen, this was in shambles when I got here. You had the worst coach in NFL history. So, if we don't meet expectations, he's still the reason why. He's basically doing a Joe Biden.
What do you think? Or
Obama.
What do you think Denver ends up doing?
I'd have to look at their schedule. They're
7-10.
They're in one of the toughest divisions in football. You got the Chargers, you got the Chiefs. Raiders are going to be one of the bottom dwellers. But
you think so?
Yeah,
Raiders have the same team they had last year outside of quarterback.
I think the Raiders and the Broncos are going to compete for the last spot.
I would say that's probably West. True.
And I think it's going to be a tight race. What happened with somebody posted public hunters in Texas just got screwed?
Something about no bow hunting, and that included fish bow hunting too.
As of September 1, you may no longer hunt navigable waterways and their bed basin, etc., with a rifle, bow, or shotgun with slugs. So no more public hunting, no more river hunting with bows, shotguns, and rifles.
That's what I'm hearing.
You got serious about that phone.
Anyways, before that phone call was there, I'll tell you a couple of tidbits. We'll switch back up to the waterfowl, or go back to waterfowl for just a second. R&T did a duck call release on 24/7 calls. With Raynor.
Yeah.
And a guy wanted one of the calls, and they had limited to like 25 or 50 of them or something. They were sold out fast. I was going to go down and get a call for a guy was interested in one. He messaged me, and I said, yeah, I'll go. I don't mind at all. I went down there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They gave away at noon. There was already like 4 or 5 people in line. Mm-hmm. And then I looked up, and it was 11:50, and I went down there, and the line was bigger than what it was going to be, so I didn't get a call. That evening, I texted the guy, and I said, listen, I couldn't get one. It just didn't work out. He said, well, I found them online. Somebody was selling them for $8.50 already that evening.
Oh, wow.
I was like, shit, I should have went in line and tried to buy 10 of them.
Capitalism, baby.
Damn, pretty good deal right there.
Jesus.
In Little Rock downtown, for some reason, the waterfowl guys have decided they're all professional scooter riders.
Oh.
Those Lime scooters, they rent them everywhere down there. There was a guy that worked for a blind company, and I can't remember the name of the blind company. And I looked up, and he was at the Alpha Outdoors booth, and went by there to see them, and was talking. And this guy's face is just tore up. Well, I thought that poor fucker's got something wrong with him, so I didn't say nothing. You know, if I'd have known what happened, I'd have made it go. Anyways, he was out in front of everybody in the hotel, and he face planted on them some bitches. Right? He had road rash up and down his face. They have a new product that's really cool that will not have anything to do with us because it does not work here, but it's a magnet for the tree. It's a gun magnet. You put your gun and you put the strap around a tree when you're flooded timber hunting.
Oh.
You just put the strap around the tree and you put your gun on the magnet right there. Right. They sold the shit out of those things. I was like, that's fucking common sense stuff. You just put a little thing on your gun. It's a magnet. You just put your gun. It just sucks right up to it.
Huh.
I thought, man, that's a really good deal. You put your gun down where you're putting your decoys because you got to carry them everywhere.
Yeah. You can't just set it down on water.
Really, I told that guy, I was like, man, that's a fucking smart idea right there. He goes, yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know, Hunter come up with this, and I put this together and come up with how to do it, and 3D printed something, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Huh.
Sold a lot of blind caddy stuff.
Oh, good.
Done really well there.
Yeah, those are going to be cool.
Lucky Duck has got a new ice eater out, and we're going to get Luke on, I believe, this week.
Yep. Excited about that. Excited about
and the ice eater floats on the top. Is that right?
I've not seen enough to know.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we have Luke on. But anyways, we will have the guys from Lucky Duck.
But I do
on.
like the new spinner that they come out with. It's black on one side, white on the other, more contrast. So that will be that'll be good. And it, white side always goes down whenever you hit the off button.
How old do you think Wade Shoemaker is?
Our age, my age, 35, mid 30s.
37 years old. This son of a bitch looks like he's 21.
Mid to late 30s, Jeff.
Great shape.
Oh yeah.
Said something to Wade about getting old. So I know. I go, how old are you? 37. I was like, there's no way you're freaking 37. I said, well, Wade, if you keep working out and exercising, diet, maybe you can look like me when you turn 55.
That's right.
Great shape.
All about the goals.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, Wade's a good dude. Hard worker.
Yeah, he is.
He's
and
everywhere.
So, anyways, it's really good. Yeah, that deal on them lakes and bayous, that's going to cut out all bow fishing. The guys that bow fish.
Well, I don't know. I'm reading. I mean,
and I don't know how in depth that is, or what. But me and one of the guys from one of the other outfitters was talking to me. A guy from Texas. I don't remember exactly who it was. I'm so bad with names. I know faces. And anyways, guy was visiting with me, and we were talking about that. And he said, he said, what's scary about this is every time. I know who it was. It was Travis Schneider. Every time the state gets a commission together to study something, they do it.
Right.
And if they're doing a commission to study on this, it's going to happen. But we don't have a lot of public hunting in Texas anyways. You take out all the coastal waters and rivers and stuff, and you're going to knock out all that.
Yeah, that thing was kind of vague. I was trying to find it again to read the exact thing that passed, but
the guy that's pushing this is either an ex-game warden.
Yeah, he's a retired game warden.
Yeah, and he's a big liberal, I guess.
Really?
I'm assuming so. I don't know why game warden would want to keep people out of hunting in the field.
It's not in the field. It's in the waterways.
The same way.
You just mean out in general?
I don't. We need more people hunting and fishing.
Pete Flores, now a senator, is largely responsible. This is not a Texas Park and Wildlife decision. Your politicians screwed this up. Also, the Army Corps of Engineers typically adheres to state law, so there's that. There's also that threat. Your favorite hunting spot.
You take Corps of Engineer lakes. Lake Ray Roberts is a Corps lake. They took away all hunting. There'd be no hunting on Lake Ray Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Lake Fork is a. What gets me? Why is hunting always the deal?
Navigable rivers or streams?
Yeah. Lake Texoma, is it a Corps lake? I think it is too.
The person is to be located in or on the bed or bank of the navigable river or stream at the time the firearm is discharged.
So no water hunting.
So it's basically bow hunting.
No.
Boat
hunting. Nobody in a boat.
Boat.
But you take Lake Ray Roberts, you take Texoma. I bet it's a Corps lake. I'm pretty sure it is. There's no hunting on that. And a lot of places like that you can't.
But you just got to put your feet on dry.
Hold on.
Land.
A lot of those places you can't get out of the fucking boat to hunt.
Okay.
Because then you're trespassing.
Okay. How are you getting the thing back in your boat?
You use a dog.
You're not. It says longbows, rifles, slugs. So it doesn't say anything about waterfowl hunting.
I guess it doesn't then. I was just thinking shotguns. It says slugs.
Slugs.
It's going to take out all deer hunting on all them places.
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If you can still hunt these places as long as you get out of your boat, from what I'm reading, and I'm not very smart, I understand that. But it says, let me see. You got to be, I'll read the entire thing. How about that? We can work this out together. Be it enacted by the legislator of Texas, Section 284.001, Parks and Wildlife Code, is transferred to Subchapter B, Chapter 1, Parks and Wildlife Code, redesigned. Anyway. In this section, use of certain weapons in or on bed or bank of navigable river stream. Prohibited in this section. Archery equipment, meaning longbow, recurve bow, compound bow, or crossbow. Firearm has the meaning assigned by Section 62, which I can't read that. Navigable river streams as the meaning assigned by Section 90. Except as provided by subsection, a person may not discharge a firearm or bow from any kind of bow. How do people even fucking read this shit?
I'm listening to you, and I'm having a hard time just listening.
If the person is located on or in or on bed or bank of navigable river or streams at the time. So no, it's saying you can't do that. I don't know. I'm fucking confused. I confused myself there.
Regardless, it's just more legislation, and every mile that we've lost, we've given up an inch at a time. And this is going to take something else away.
Boy, that was brutal reading that. No wonder fucking dumb laws go through. You can't make heads or tails of what that just read.
And you could have made it a real simple deal.
What?
You could have come out real quick and said, we're not going to let you use a bow, a rifle, or a shotgun with slugs if you're in a boat. You have to be on dry land at all public land.
Well, Jeff, I was just reading what it said.
But is that not more simple? And it's easy.
I had to read what they wrote.
I understand that. I'm just saying for them, you said, I don't understand people. I said, they can make it simpler. They do that shit on purpose.
No,
and then
I know
in the
that.
bottom of that shit, it'll say, and all state senators are going to get $1,500 extra a month. They throw that shit in there, but nobody reads it because they get sick of it and they turn it off. I had an interesting conversation with 3 or 4 different groups of guys this weekend. And it really hit me. As we were driving home, I was thinking about this, me and Mom. A lot of guys that are public hunters get beef with other public hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of my really good friends have got a beef going on, and they're public hunters.
They got a beef.
They got a beef. They're not really talking. They're just not getting along. They don't talk right now. They've hunted together for years and stuff, and it's over public hunting.
Really?
Life is way too short to squabble over public hunting. You're not out any money on the leasing. It's first come, first serve. You may be mad at your buddy because you and him hunt the same spot, but you can't keep there could be a busload of 18 Kansas City liberal bra burners can show up and do the same thing, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not worth getting, people that you're friends with and loved ones for years, don't get in a squabble over public hunting. Or even, it's just not worth it.
All right, Jeff, there it is. You read it and tell me what you think.
Okay.
You were a judge, so you're used to reading hoity-toity stuff like this.
In this section, archery equipment means a longbow, recurve bow, compound bow, or crossbow. Firearm has the meaning assigned by section. Navigable rivers or streams, except as provided by subsection. A person may not discharge a firearm or shoot an arrow from any kind of bow if the person is located in or on the bed or bank of a navigable river or stream at the time the firearm is discharged or the arrow is shot from the bow. Go down a little bit.
That's all I got.
Okay.
So that's
basically they could have made it a whole lot. But what's crazy about that
but it doesn't say, and I guess because we can't see section 62, we can't see what firearm meaning it is or any of that stuff. In the article, it said slugs, rifles, bows.
Here's where they're getting people, and it's not saying this it's also, this section applies only to navigable river or streams located wholly or partially in Dimmitt, Edwards, Frio. Now I know what's going on with this.
No, they took that out.
Is that going to be taken out for sure, or do they just try to redact that?
I think
you don't see it.
I think it's taken out.
Well, if not, I'm going to read what the redacted thing says right now, or what's crossed out. It says this section applies only to navigable river or streams located wholly or partly in Dimmitt, Edwards, Frio, Hall, Kennedy, Llano, Maverick, Real, Uvalde, or Zavala County. For people outside of Texas, what they're not trying to tell you is that's the golden triangle of deer hunting.
So they're trying to
keep you from getting on a river in that area and shooting something. But here's what they're not telling you on that deal. If you get your ass out of that boat and get on dry land, then you're trespassing, right. And it's felony trespassing. They're just trying to circumvent that law where you cannot go places.
But now I've done a little bit of duck hunting on the river here.
But you have permission to where you were hunting at.
No, hold on a second. The river's public land.
Right.
I've always been told that once you step foot on dry land on that bank, you're trespassing.
Right. But our river here has sandbars and stuff that you can hunt on legally. Down there, 90% of those rivers are not going to have that kind of stuff.
Is it always running? I don't understand.
I'm assuming probably the Devil's River or whatever that's called that comes out of Mexico. Right. Beautiful water down the Frio and stuff. That's huge. That's huge deer hunting property. And I'm assuming if you're floating down that river or hunting down that river, if you get off on the dry land, you're trespassing just like you are here. They're trying to keep people from river hunting is what they're trying to do in those areas. That deer hunting stuff. That part I agree with if that's all they're trying to do. But there's more to this than that. But that's why them counties were listed in there. Is they don't want you. A guy's got a place on the Guadalupe River. Them fucking people go floating down his shit all day long, and there ain't nothing he can do about it. But there's also big deer around there. Goes through some of them big high fence ranches and shit, and people are probably popping fucking deer. And big landowners got millions of dollars, and he's sick of seeing his 180-inch deer get shot by some guy maybe hunting on a sandbar right there or something. Mm-hmm. And that's probably what this is all about.
I always kind of felt like it because, I mean, just the arrows and rifles and slugs, I always thought that it would cater to deer hunting. So I wasn't in a tizzy about it as far as duck hunting or anything like that. But, I mean, here I was always told, once you step foot on dry land on a bank, that's private property.
But if they do this for the whole state of Texas, how many guys bow hunt the Trinity River bottoms? You see it all the time. There's guide services up and down there. That would take that out of there too.
So it would be better if they only did it in those counties.
Yes.
Only did it in the Golden Triangle.
And that Golden Triangle guys are probably lobbying the state to, hey, we got to do something about these guys who are shooting our trophy deer.
Right.
We dealt with the same shit here before.
Yeah.
You know. And thank God there was nothing in it. No shit been right on my computer. But I think it's something going on there. Oh, Buck told me to tell you, since you're a cold brew drinker, that he always has some Missouri boat ride left over, and he makes him a cold brew with it now. And he said he likes it as much as the.
Oh, really? He just leaves it in the pot?
Is it the King Eider?
Yeah.
Yeah, he leaves it in the pot, and then he uses it in the evening time or in the afternoon. So I told him, I said, Andy drinks it 3:30 every day, has cold brew.
Yeah, that's my time. Jay Peterson was telling me, and I'll have to find the message that he sent it on. There's something that they do in Mexico. It's called something.
I love Mexican coffee.
Well, it's got. Where did he send it to me on? That is one thing that I hate.
Too much social media, and it's hard to keep up with your messages.
Well, I don't know when. I don't know.
Jay's a super dude.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, but I don't know if he sent it to me on Instagram. I don't know if he sent it to me on.
Well, Buck's little girls were selling like crazy.
Really?
His oldest daughter, whoo, she's a shits, boy. She is a go-getter, firecracker.
Maybe he texted
Come up to me with 2 cups. If you buy this, we'll give you free refills.
That's nice of her. Motherfucker, I can't remember where he sent it to me. Oh, Liqueur 43. They call it a Carajillo in Mexico.
What is it?
It's basically you just do
coffee
the same
liqueur.
Yeah, I think so. But it's a cold thing that they do. Yeah, he texted that to me.
So they put Kahlua in it or something?
That's not Kahlua. It's Liqueur 43.
I'm asking. So Liqueur 43 is a coffee liqueur.
I'm about to find out.
I think Kahlua is a coffee liqueur.
It is. Yeah. Carajillo. That's what they make in Mexico. Yes, I'm over 21. Yep. Enter. It is.
If you'd read, you just went down what it was. It told you what it was. The bitterness of coffee and the spicy sweetness. A simple but perfect combination that complements each other. Our most popular drink in Mexico.
This is what I'm all about right here.
The popularity?
Intensity and difficulty. 1 out of 5. So
50 milliliters of Liqueur 43, 1 hot espresso coffee, some ice cubes. Fill your glass with ice cubes and pour Liqueur 43 over the top. Serve alongside the cup of a hot espresso. Oh, you serve it alongside it. You don't drink. You do it separate. You don't mix it. You drink the coffee, hot espresso.
No, he told me to throw it in there. That's what they do.
Okay, well, I'm just saying what that showed on the video.
This guy's a moron.
You've never had it before.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
My
coffee guy told me how to do this.
Okay, go look up Kahlua and see what it is, though. I think Kahlua is a coffee liqueur.
Tell you what we'll do. We'll do Kahlua versus Liqueur 43. And I think I misspelled Kahlua.
I don't think it's a coffee liqueur. Go up because I was reading it.
What?
Right there. It says, what is liqueur? Fast fact ingredients, 43 herbs, fruits and spices, including vanilla and citrus proof. I don't think it's a coffee liqueur.
Okay, let's do this. What is? So let's see. Liqueur 43.
Every time you get it's liqueur 43 on Wikipedia right there. It's got it.
Where? Where's
Right up,
Wikipedia?
3 up from you right there.
Invented in 1946. Boy, they missed that by 3 years, didn't they? Is a popular liqueur in Spain. They always do things very well there.
It's the most popular liqueur in Spain too.
It doesn't tell me, like, it's just a liqueur. Just a liqueur. That's all it is. Not a coffee liqueur, not anything else. It's just a liqueur. As alcohol combined with espresso and ice. So,
There you go.
that's what I'm getting.
So did you order you some of that yet?
No, I did not. I tried to go to Specs yesterday, and I did not even think about it being Sunday. Specs is closed on Sunday in Texas. No liquor in Texas.
Look and see if Specs has it.
Sure they do.
I'm going to go to Wichita today or tomorrow.
Oh, casino's calling your name, huh?
Yep.
Oof.
I had a busy day. I worked all week.
If you do go, I need you to get me something else too.
Okay, so you sound just like your mom. Let me give you a list of shit I'd like you to pick up. Save me a trip.
Liqueur 43. We got football on Thursday.
Thursday night. I got a podcast Thursday too.
Who are you doing a podcast with?
With another group of guys asked me to be on there.
Yeah,
They do have it. You want me to buy you some?
Yeah. Give me
Which one? The expensive one or the
no,
cheaper
the 750, Jeff.
one? Okay. What else do you need me to
The
get
750.
Did you see the one that's a horchata?
I'm not a horchata guy.
What else you want me to get?
I've got to find. I got to find a picture of it.
Is it a bourbon?
No, it's not a bourbon. It's something else. It's a tequila something. I'm gonna get it for somebody. It's a present.
Okay.
It's a present. I'm giving it as a present. It's Am
I going to be reimbursed for these things?
No, absolutely not. You're buying this out of the goodness of your heart.
That's what I was figuring was going to happen to me.
Casamigos Mezcal Joven.
See if they have it there too.
I bet they do. Tell you what, Specs has changed the game. Casamigos Mezcal. Why is my Z not working?
We're fixing to have our big tequila guy will be here in a couple of weeks.
Let's see. Survey says they do have it. Maybe.
Yep, they do.
It's the black bottle.
The black bottle, the cheap, the expensive.
Of course. Of course. Is that for a 6-pack? Oh, no.
Fuck no. $345. I ain't buying a case of that shit for somebody I don't even know.
Anyway.
Now, you know that if you give me your credit card, I could take it and just do it that way.
Yeah, it's way too difficult, Jeff.
Is it? Okay.
I don't want you getting busted for having a credit card that's not in your name. And
okay. Is that how it works?
It's a slippery slope.
Well, I think it's pretty safe because Mom uses one of mine she has for 15 years or 20, 25 years. It's just
we all
in my
at least
name.
have the same last name.
What if
they ID you and the card says Shaver on it, and then you're screwed. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge
Go ahead
on
and start
the
this
program I
over.
talked to that are currently still on the program.
And
Okay,
was this,
so while we were away, last Wednesday they had a Senate Oversight Committee on UFOs. And here's what one of the experts said.
Before you get into this, does this not scare you? What the fuck are they wanting us to distract us? Because all of a sudden they're going to tell us about this shit.
Well, I loved it.
No. I'm interested in this, but it makes you wonder if this is the point that they're doing this, that there's something else they want us to be distracted from, I think. Go ahead.
I'm sure that there is, but here's the
I
clip.
believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
You do know what a skiff is, right?
Yeah. Private place.
Yes. So basically what the government has just told us is that, yes, there are UFOs, and yes, there are aliens that's running them. They're not just drones.
Right.
And that we do have them recovered. And I'm assuming our boom in technology from the 40s is because of that.
We reverse engineered a bunch of stuff.
Yep. And I'm assuming that's why.
That happened on Wednesday. Now, we got Obama's chef magically died.
What do you think about that? I'm glad you
very
brought
prominent
this up.
swimmer. He just posted not too long ago of him in a pool, in an Olympic pool, like doing the breaststroke or something.
But he drowned
like
in 3.5 foot of water.
Yeah.
That he could have stood up in.
Well, obviously, something happened to him.
Do you think it was a stroke, a heart attack, or Clinton?
I don't know. I don't know if he saw Mike's penis or.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
That could have been the deal. There's a picture going around of Michelle and Barack kayaking.
Yeah, she looks like a moose.
She fought hard to get that taken completely off of the internet.
It's because she's not a she.
Well, I can't confirm nor deny that, but Michelle Obama wanted that off of the internet. She was not happy when that hit the
If she is, let's just say, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. If she really does have an innie, okay, would you want that picture of you in a bathing suit? Because that's not very attractive looking.
Like I get it, right? Like that's a terrible picture of her, and I get it.
Have you just not to change subject, just for a second? Have you seen the meme going around about Madonna and Roseanne Barr? And who would have ever thought in 1982 Roseanne Barr would be more attractive than Madonna?
Right.
And it's very true. Madonna looks like she should be riding around on one of them UFOs.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the paddleboarding deal.
He could have had a heart attack. He could have had a stroke.
I told
Could have got clubbed.
Mom, first right off the bat.
Yeah, Clinton eyes.
Yes. And I'm like, I said, poor guy might have just had a damn heart attack or something.
Yeah,
we don't know,
shit
but we
happens.
just assume. Now, why did they lie about where the Obamas were? Who gives a shit if their house if he drowned?
Right.
If it's an accident, it's a drowning. It's not their fault if they're there.
No.
But
Maybe they didn't want. Maybe they wanted to avoid this speculation.
have you seen the speculation about Obama's hands are all fucking cut up at the golf course?
Yeah, but I mean,
Is that a true picture or not?
I don't know. I've
There's
just seen it. I don't know if it's recent, but I'm wondering. Like Tiger does that. Tiger tapes his fingers.
Yeah, but Obama's fingers were all bloody and stuff around him.
No, they weren't.
Look 'em up.
It was just. It looked like Band-Aids, but it could have just been.
Well, he ain't no Tiger Woods.
I understand that, but I mean, just to say, well, he's got some wrapping on his fingers. Maybe he likes to be like Tiger Woods. I don't know.
If you look at most people that have a struggle with someone, especially if they're killing them, their hands are all beat to shit. Stabbing especially, their hands are all cut up from the bone and the everything and the knife and shit. Don't know if it's true or not. I don't think Obama put his hands on anything because I don't think Obama could fucking whoop a 7-year-old. I will say this, and I'm going to say this now on my deal. Our country went to shit when he became president because he was the most divisive president this country's ever had. He was horrible for our country, and we have not recovered yet from all the division in our country since he's been in there. And he could have done so many good things to get people together on the same page.
Here, Monsieur Tiger Woods, greatest golfer to ever live. Tape middle finger, tape ring finger. Here's Obama. Tape ring finger, tape middle finger. So
Look at his eye.
they said that was just a shadow. Yeah, they said they're kind of doing what CNN did to Joe Rogan whenever he had.
Okay. I don't know. I just saw the picture, but like I said, I don't think he put his hands on him anyways.
Yeah, I'm thinking if somebody's getting whacked because of the Obamas, I don't think he's doing the whacking.
No, he's not. He ain't got the balls to do that shit.
Well, not
His
only
wife
that,
might, but
I
he
mean,
don't.
it's just why would he ever leave?
He's not going to do that. Do you think?
He's way too polished to do anything like that.
I read, and I'm sure it's bullshit, that the chef was writing a book on the Obamas.
Why would he still be the chef?
They might have just found out he was writing a book.
I don't know.
I mean, it probably wasn't a book. Maybe, do you think maybe he saw one of them's package he wasn't supposed to have seen?
Could have. Maybe. I don't know.
This is what's sad.
Because I think, okay, so this would actually make more sense because Tiger tapes his right hand. Tiger's right-handed dominant. Obama, I believe, is a lefty, so that's why his left hand would be taped up like that if he's pulling a Tiger.
I don't know. Why?
He is golfing.
Why? Here's this. This is what's really sad about the whole thing. there's nothing that those people, and when I say those people, I'm talking about people that is in that deep state area, will do to cover their own ass.
Sure.
What do you think happened with Mitch
It's all
McConnell?
about
You think he just shit in
survival.
his pants, or what do you think
I
happened?
do believe that poor guy shitted on himself. There's no other. I mean, I'll tell you what it is. He's too fucking old to be there.
Yes.
He fell not too long ago. He banged his head. He shouldn't be there.
Same with Dianne Feinstein.
We should have a maximum age limit. Whatever it is. 78. You're done. Goodbye. See ya.
we have a minimum age to run
You got
for
a
president.
minimum age. You got to be, what, 35 or
For
something?
35 for
bullshit
president,
like
and
that?
I think 28 to run for Senate.
So, but people didn't live that long. Back in
Well-
the 1700s when we made all of these laws, or whenever the ages came into it, people had other shit to do. They didn't want to be there that long. They're dead at 62. So this is all new.
These people, though, that vote these age limits on here, they're all of that age, and they don't want nobody else coming into their deal.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
We're on a path to finishing the NDA this week. It's been good bipartisan
God, he's aged
cooperation
terrible.
Well, he fell.
and a string of
Whoop. Lost my bowels. And I shouldn't be making fun of the guy,
Why?
but
Why shouldn't you?
That's-
They're there fucking doing big dictators to our ass. Screw him. Screw him. Screw Dianne Feinstein and every other one of them some bitches. That's the problem we have right now. We got these old fuckers that should not be in charge of nothing.
Tony said somebody touched his arm. I didn't see
Tony's
anybody touch his
fucking
arm
way
right
out there on his Q shit. That lady comes up.
Later, she does to like help him clean up his
No,
pants.
no. It's this other version of it.
There's another.
Yeah, he's gonna talk and she's gonna come by and she's got a pen. Tony thinks he's a fucking robot, I guess, or some shit. I don't know.
But I don't see. She
You're
doesn't
gonna see her. You'll see her and she'll come by in a minute. Oh, right there. See it? She hit her arm. Go back. You can see she hits his hand with
I
something.
don't know if I can on a short. Let me do this.
Yeah, Tony told me that. I go, you're smarter than that. Jeff, you're smarter than this. I said, he's not a fucking robot. Have you heard of him hypnotizing people? Not by touching their hands. Right there in the
Oh,
green.
the green.
Yep,
The lady
watch her.
in green.
Watch her.
Whoop. That was like an off switch, though.
But why the fuck would she hit him like that,
week.
though? That's,
It's been good bipartisan cooperation.
let me by here. Excuse me.
and a string of,
That's all I got.
That is weird, though, isn't it?
That's all I got.
That is weird that she touches him like that, though.
NDA this
Here she
week.
comes.
It's been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Wow. I don't know. I don't think he's a robot.
No, I don't think he's hypnotized either. I think he's just old and fucking decrepit.
I think he fell.
Every one of these guys are puppets for somebody. Joe Biden's a puppet. Joe Biden has no clue where he's at, what he's doing.
Look at the poor guys in the back. They're like, "What the fuck do we do here?
Yep.
Who? What? What?
But you know,
Who is it?
you got
Where am I?
you got this confused old fucker. You got Biden, don't know what the fuck he's doing. But we got the DOJ wanting a guy to go report to prison the day before he's supposed to talk to the Senate on the Biden shit. And we as American citizens, we just accept this shit. Have you seen the prices of gas lately?
I'm telling you what. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We had to grocery shop yesterday. Been out of town, and July's been a crazy month.
Let me guess.
Cupboards were bare.
$4.75.
I don't remember what it was. Yeah, probably so. But I was just looking around because we had talked about prices of groceries going up. Like I was just kind of like taking a mental
You used to not do
tally
that, but now you do.
of just like how prices are getting so out of whack, and it is ridiculous. I really do not know how families low middle income are doing it.
They got WIC. And if they don't, they're
Yeah,
hungry.
But I mean,
It's terrible.
it's ridiculous.
The price of stuff is absolutely asinine right now. It's unbelievable how. And a guy come to the booth yesterday and he was talking to me about fuel prices. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got to have gas,
Yeah.
so I pull up when I need gas. I pull up and get it. I don't look.
And we can't shop here. We got two places, so it's like if you need gas, you get gas.
I buy local. I
Right.
buy the local people. So who I'm gonna buy it from? Well, we're going down the road yesterday, and I needed to get gas, and we stopped. Bing, the deal goes on. So I pull in there and I get gas. Mom gets some wine. $3.45 a gallon. And a guy had told me that gas prices had went up. Well, I hadn't noticed it because I just buy gas. I have to have it. But I thought gas was like $2.50 just recently. And now it's $1. It's up $1.
When we came back from Louisiana, we filled up at that one place. It was $2.99.
It was $3.49 yesterday.
Most places I saw it was $3.35.
Okay, well, I'm sure I got screwed.
I'm sure you did.
But still $3.39. It's up 30. A guy told me that he said it went up 30 cents overnight the other day, and I didn't know. I don't look. But I had a guy just tell me that yesterday. He said, gas prices went up 30 cents in one day. Why aren't we talking about that? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. But if it went up 30 cents, the government's making extra 15 cents on it probably. We got to give Ukraine more money.
Yeah, so here it is. 51% of people in December of 2022, 51% of Americans with $100,000 or more in annual income said they live paycheck to paycheck. So
Now,
that is the new.
Well,
that's the new cutoff.
They're living better than a lot of people though. I live paycheck to paycheck probably.
49% of Americans earnings say they now live paycheck to paycheck. Now
I look forward to my paycheck every week. Don't you?
Well, yeah, everybody.
Right. But I'm not going without while I'm not getting paid. Right.
Doesn't guarantee a comfortable lifestyle. But here's the deal. When I was growing up, 6 figures was kind of
that was good living.
That's what you wanted to make. That was the goal. That was the end goal.
If you made $8,000, if you made $100,000 a year, you lived a good life. You got to go on vacation. Your kids were involved with any extracurricular activity you wanted to. You had good Christmases. You went. I mean, you took your wife out to dinner all the time. Didn't worry about it. Now $100,000 a year. We live in a different world because we live in Knox City and things are cheaper, and we own everything. You own everything, so it's different. What if you make $100,000 a year? You got $8,000 worth of spendable income if you want to, just about. Or someone that's living in Dallas that's making $8,000 a month. Or $100,000 a year, not $8,000 a year, $100,000 a year, which is $8,000 a month, and they're paying $2,500 a month for mortgage. Well, that's a big chunk of change right there. And then after taxes and stuff, they don't have a lot of money.
And a rise in your normal spending.
But what's a loaf of bread cost now?
I can't remember, but it was expensive. Which I'm a Wonder Bread guy.
$3?
Oh yeah, every bit of it.
Is it $3?
Yeah.
But a bushel of wheat's $6. So who's making the money?
I don't know. There was a clip on
Wonder's still your bread. I like that. I like that artesian bread.
I'm a Wonder Bread
Sara
guy.
Lee Artesian's good.
I'm a
Wonder's good bread though.
I'm a Wonder Bread guy. I was gonna play this also. Guy on Rogan was talking about the. Can I stream it up to there? Probably not. I'll just have to. Oh, fuck. How do I get this on the TV?
Shit, you're talking to the wrong person. You better get Reese in here.
Into my pharmacy. If your grandma comes in.
Found it.
And she tries to fill a prescription. I'll give you metformin. My cost on metformin is roughly $2. I would sell her metformin for $4. As soon as she discloses that she has insurance, I have a gag clause. I am not allowed to tell her my cash pay price. I swipe her insurance card, Blue Cross, whatever it may be, boom, copay $10. And she gets her medicine, I charge her $10. Immediately when I swipe that card and I enter all that in the computer, I get a $7 clawback. Where does it go? It goes to the PBM. So you give it, like, I could have saved her $6, but I can't disclose to her that. And now the money, the profits, I make less money, she pays more money, and the money goes back to the big insurance companies.
I wouldn't say nothing to him then.
What do you mean?
I would just ask for the cash price.
Right. But I mean, people are proud to have insurance, right? I pay for this. I'm going to use it.
The problem is 99% of us are uneducated on that.
Well, yeah, nobody knows. I mean, we tried to read a simple piece of legislature that they're trying to pass for hunting. I mean, obviously we didn't have all of it. We were just reading a little bit, but they fucking use this language and you can't make heads or tails of anything. Nothing. They just make it so complicated that the average person can't read it. And then they're all in on the game together and they're like, yeah, it's good for you. Just do it. You've heard that Dave Chappelle joke or the Dave Chappelle bit about, everybody basically being in on it. Everybody. When he got to Hollywood, you know, he had the agents that were supposed to look out for his best interests, and then came to find out, like, the agents are they're an extension of the people that are trying to rip them off.
Yeah, everybody's, and it's the way with our politicians. Once you get in that inner circle, you don't want to give up your stability. You know, that's why we've got these 85-year-olds. And why does the DNC and the RNC and all these people keep propping up these old people that nobody likes anymore? Congress has an approval rating of about 13%.
Right.
But they keep getting fucking reelected all the time. Over and over and over again. It's the same pieces of shit up there. And it goes on and on forever. And they're all on the take. And then what happens is Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, they're all fixing to retire. They're getting old. They're going to die hopefully soon. And that sounds horrible, but they're wasting oxygen down here for any of us. But AOC, we'll use an example. If AOC, someone ran against her and they beat her because she's not real well liked by her constituents,
Right.
and they beat her, you think she's going away?
No.
She'll either become a pundit on
She'll become
TV
a
and make $1 million
lobbyist.
a year, or she'll be a lobbyist and make a shitload of money doing stuff behind the scenes to screw us out of money. Mac Thornberry, what'd he do? He was a congressman for 16 years, as a worthless fucker from Clarendon, Texas. Lives in Virginia now, which is a good place for his liberal ass to stay. And he's making a ton of money as a defense contractor now.
Yeah.
He was on the Senate Arms Committee, I think, or the House, whatever it was. And that's what they do. And it's just they use the system up left and right, left and right.
There's another interesting thing that happened this weekend. RFK has no Secret Service detail.
He won't be one until he becomes an official
Nope.
running.
Nope.
Why?
Every candidate since the assassination of his father has had a Secret Service detail.
Once they become an official candidate. Yes.
He is an official candidate.
I think you have to poll at 1% or something.
He's
they
at
assign
20.
it. Why won't they assign it to him then?
That's what he says.
That's interesting.
He's the only one out there that doesn't have Secret Service.
I'm surprised people haven't pulled money together to make sure he gets protection.
Oh, I'm sure he's very well protected. But he
yes.
doesn't have Secret Service.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in a rotation. He's polling at 20% now.
Yeah.
But they're still not going to do any primaries or debates.
They'll
They're primaries, but they won't do debates.
I'll pull it up.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he said he's the first presidential candidate or whatever candidate. But the Biden administration will not give him any sort of Secret Service.
First of all, let's quit calling it the Biden administration. Let's call it Obama's third term administration because he is running the shit. Everybody knows that shit. There's nobody right now in Washington, D.C. that's shocked if Biden does not make a decision. Everybody knows he's not making decisions.
So the Secret Service is saying that within 120 days of a presidential election is when they'll go out there.
I think that's common. Trump didn't have one until they got closer to the RNC.
Former President Barack Obama received security in May of 2007, an unusually early step.
Yeah,
the New York Times noted at the time.
They had to protect the Manchurian candidate.
So they're just sticking it to my guy. That's all they're
They
doing.
are
They're
because
just sticking
he'll
it to him.
never ever make a ballot unless he runs as Trump's vice president. That's the only way he'll be on any deal. They're doing everything in the world. They're going to stack charges on Trump from here to fucking Greenland.
It's going to happen this week, yeah.
You know, they're going to just keep stacking and stacking and stacking because they're scared to death of him because he represents us. He's not a politician from there. If he does miraculously get elected, which he would if we have a fair election, he will win. If that happens, the deep state ain't ever had shit happen like it's going to because he's not going to trust these fucking people, these handlers again. He learned his lesson.
Yeah.
I'd go to some small town somewhere, the biggest greaseball asshole fucking attorney you can find, and I'd make that motherfucker the attorney general. My buddy I grew up with, one of my good friends, Chuck, would make a damn good attorney general for the United States. He's a clean guy. He hasn't been fucking bought and sold. He's not into politics at all, and he's a ruthless son of a bitch as an attorney, and he would make a damn good attorney general for the United States.
Hadn't been bought off yet.
Well, but he's not going to be. That's what I'm saying. That's the kind of guy you
I
need.
don't know.
You don't
sure.
even know fucking Chuck, and now you're saying he's going to be bought off.
I'm just saying that a lot of guys were probably the exact same way.
Yeah, a lot of good men went to D.C. and very few left.
Mm-hmm.
But that's who I would hire an attorney general, somebody like that.
You think
Actually-
you think Bill Barr had a lot of shit on him before he got in?
His dad was right in the middle of all that shit too.
Oh.
Yes. think his dad's the one that hired Epstein.
Oh.
I mean, I'm serious. I think there's a Barr Epstein connection.
Who's the guy that is it for CNN that was just charged with child pornography?
Yeah, somebody.
But he was the guy that broke the story that said there is no Pizzagate.
Yes.
And now, interesting.
Yeah.
How he was,
That's like having me guard a fucking bakery.
right.
You know, fucking ain't gonna happen.
I don't know, Mr. RFK, my guy.
He is a very interesting man. He's a
guy.
very, very interesting man.
He's my guy. I wonder if he would release the JFK assassination thing. Surely he would.
Oh, yes, he would.
Day one. This is what happened. I just don't know what that would do to the country.
We are the only country in the world that has all these inner deals because we're all a melting pot from other places.
Mm.
And now everybody wants to come over here and wants to forget the American way, which made us the place everybody wants to come to. And they want to bring all their shithole stuff. But living in the United States today is still 1,000 times better than living in France.
I don't think Trump's going to debate either, though.
Really?
Nope.
Not until they get to the president. He's going to win the primary.
I don't think he's going to debate.
Do you think he wins the primaries?
He said, I don't think he's going to get to.
Well, there's going to be a lot of disgruntled Americans.
He will be legally unable to.
I don't think so.
Jeff, all it takes is the right judge and jury.
And it only takes the right judge and jury to oversee that.
Yeah, I don't have any faith. I think they're going to get a felony on him, and that's going to be that. Is what I think. I mean, you can't. Here's the deal.
Is the Constitution says you can't be a president if you're a felon?
I think so. But here's the deal.
I didn't think so. I thought that said you can be impeached. I don't think it says you can't run for president as a felon. I don't know for sure, though. But I don't think in the Constitution it says anything about you cannot run if you are a felon. I think it just says you can be impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors. But I don't think there's anything in the Constitution that says.
Now, this is from the Washington Post, so you're just going to have to take it for
Jeff
what
Bezos.
it is. The Constitution qualifications for being president are a natural-born citizen, resident for at least 14 years, over 35. A person can be qualified by conviction in a Senate impeachment trial, but a criminal conviction does not affect eligibility.
Bingo.
So
he can run for president. I just read where they said he could be in prison and still win the election. And then he just pardoned himself.
Could you imagine?
2023. Would you be shocked?
We got women pretending to be, we got men dominating women's sports. We got ladies that are chopping their breasts off, and we got a president that's running the country from inside of a jail cell.
No, he'll be out by that time. But he's not going to prison. They would like to put him in Guantanamo.
There's nothing barring Trump from running. Even a federal conviction doesn't prevent that.
He's going to be he's going to be the Republican candidate. He's going in a fair election. He wins.
But anyway, on his Truth Social or whatever, I would say tweeted out. I don't know what they call it over there, but he said, "Let all them debate for who I might pick as my VP."
Good for him.
So it sounds like he's not.
There's nobody even close to him.
Sounds like
polls.
he's not going to debate.
What's he got? He's beaten DeSantis by 30%.
DeSantis caught a little bit of shit for drinking a beer. He had a
Was it a Bud Light?
Event. No, he's drinking Coors Light. He had an event. All his people were around him. He was drinking a beer and they were toasting. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not a DeSantis guy.
Why is that a big deal?
I don't know, but everybody's like he should be sober, and I've always said that when you go to these events and
who's complaining? The same people that fucking propping up Joe Biden?
I don't know,
and they're worried about him being sober.
They're freaking out over him having a beer at an event.
They didn't bitch when Obama had a beer.
Yeah, he had a beer with a guy.
It's too fucking. The media is so lopsided. It'd be the best thing we do is get rid of fucking media. That'd fix this shit. That's why our podcasts and stuff grow, is because we're not conforming to all their rules that they think need to be done.
Let's see here. This is according to the New York Times, and it is Trump's at 54% whenever this was done.
And that's with all the candidates involved still.
I'm trying to figure out when this was written.
Is there anybody voting for Mike Pence?
No, he's screwed.
Yeah, he's a dumb fuck.
Chris Christie. This was today. This was July 31st.
What's Chris Christie? Is he a 0 too? 2%. If you're voting for Chris Christie, you need to get your head fucking examined. Who's second? DeSantis?
Yeah.
What's the
17?
17%. 54 to 17. Who's next?
Pence at 3, Scott at 3, Haley at 3, my guy Vivek at 2, and Christie at 2.
I like Vivek too, though. I like Vivek.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Trump comes out of that. DeSantis would not be the candidate, I don't think.
Huh?
I think if Trump dropped out today, I don't think DeSantis would be the candidate.
Oh, right.
First of all, if Trump dropped out, somebody like Ted Cruz would get involved, or Jim Jordan. Somebody like that would get involved if Trump was not going to run, I think. Don't you?
I don't know.
I think there would be other people. Sarah Huckabee.
Right.
She was at Delta.
Was she?
Yep. She done the opening introduction.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I told Trevor Austin, I was like, yeah. I said, I got to get up on stage. I got to introduce Sarah Huckabee. He goes, huh? I said, yeah. He said, they're letting you fucking introduce her? I said, yeah. No shit.
And then the New York Post has this it's got it totally, not totally different, but it's got Trump at 52.4, DeSantis at 15, and then Vivek at 6, and then Pence at 4.8.
Basically, if Trump's at over 50% and the closest one is under 20, there's not even, I mean, it's a waste of time.
Right.
It's not even going to be close. You know, and the Republican deal is going to be interesting because Biden is going to have a legit person that's campaigning to get his job, and he's not going to do nothing about it. We didn't have anybody try to run against Trump 4 years ago.
Right.
Because there was no reason to. He was too popular, and he still is popular.
So, interesting times. I am excited, though. August is here, and
football season Thursday starts. First preseason game is Thursday. Back to football for a second. Kareem Hunt has not signed with nobody, and that surprises me. And I'm surprised Zeke Elliott hasn't signed just because of his. I talked about his pass protection. And it looks like Dalvin Cook is probably going to sign with the Jets, which is going to kill fantasy football for Breece Hall.
Another one off the board.
Jets are looking good.
They're my favorite to win it all.
Are they now?
No.
Well, they got a great defense.
No.
A great defense.
Yeah.
Kansas City won't win the Super Bowl this year. Joe Burrow's hurt now. That's a big thing.
It was just calf strain. I bet the Bengals crowd was just like, what are we seeing here? Had to cart them off. I bet they were freaking out. 'Cause that's everything for them. I mean, I don't know who their backup is.
Yeah, they're winning games 42-38. They're not winning because of their defense.
Right. Rick Keller just sent me something.
All right, let's get off of here. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. We're going to have the professor's going to be on this week, right?
Yeah, we had him on a couple months ago.
Did I
He's
put you on the spot?
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name.
UTEP guy.
Yeah, Philip Lovretsky. That's what it is. I had to dig deep right there. Philip Lovretsky will be on later this week. He's got a college course that anybody can take. So it's going to be an accredited course, and it's all about the history and evolution of waterfowl. So we'll talk a little bit about it, but it's open to the public. So if you want a broader knowledge, you can enroll in this class, and you don't even have to be a student at UTEP. You can just do it all online, and super interesting. And so we got him later this week, and then we got a bunch of other people, getting scheduled. So one more month until hunting season's here. It's not going to be very much longer.
Shit, they'll be shooting geese in North Dakota in 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yep. Early season. That's too early. It's too hot. Too hot right now. But anyway, we got a busy couple of weeks up here at the Big Honker Lodge getting ready for dove season. That's only a month away now.
Yep.
So next time we turn the calendar,
4 weeks from Friday.
Next time we turn the calendar, it'll be go time for us. So
thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great day.
go check out Hemp Hill Farms for all of your aches and pains. CBD will take care of you. Also, Alpha Outdoor Specialties. Pay attention to that blind caddy that's coming out. Stanfield Outfitters, go to our YouTube channel right now, the Big Honker Podcast. Mossberg, Double T British Kennels. Ducks Unlimited, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, and Boss Shot Shells.